Hi, my name is Chloe. I write the blog Boxwood Avenue, and today I am joining my friend Julie from julieblanner.com, and we're going to talk to you all about kitchen countertops. One of the last videos I did with Julie, we talked about our kitchen regrets and the things that we would do differently. I think that everybody really enjoyed that video because it's helpful to know everybody's hindsight, right? Hindsight's 2020. Julie and I thought it would be fun to team up together and talk about our kitchen countertops because they're one of the biggest investments that you're going to put into your kitchen on top of cabinetry, and you want to make the right choice. So Julie has marble in her kitchen, and then I have white concrete in my kitchen, and she's going to be talking all about marble countertops in her video, and I'm going to talk to you all about white concrete countertops. So I hope that you find this video really helpful. Once you're done watching this video, be sure to head over to Julie's channel and subscribe while you're there. She has lots of really good videos, tons of recipes, entertaining tips, and design tips. So without further ado, let's just get right into it and talk all about white concrete countertops. I think the first question I have to answer when I start talking about white concrete countertops is if I like them and if I do it again. So there's a two-part answer. I really do like them. I love the organic sort of cool feel that they have. They give off this rustic touch that it feels a little bit industrial, a little bit modern, yet timeless. I really do like it. I love the texture and the color. But I don't think that I would do it again. And when I am working with clients and they bring up white concrete countertops, I'm like, no, we're not doing white concrete countertops. And let me tell you why. I would only recommend concrete countertops really on two occasions. I think one, if your style is very, very cool and modern, you can totally go with the white concrete countertops and you will love it forever. And like I said, I really do like them, but in 10 years, my taste may change and there's no getting that out. So the other time I would say you can go ahead and use white concrete countertops in your kitchen is if your budget just doesn't matter. Like in 10 years, if you want to redo your kitchen, you have the budget to just go ahead and do it. But I think for me and for most people, when you redo a kitchen, you want that to be timeless and to last for 20, 30, 40 years. You want to come back 20 years from now and think, oh wow, that's so beautiful. And so I think, I don't know, it's just tricky because I do like them and I don't want this video to come off as like I hate them, but I also just don't think that they're a great option for everybody. I think a lot of people start researching the concrete countertop idea, and I said this in my kitchen regrets video, because it seems like it's the more cost-effective option. And I got a lot of comments that said like, can't you get concrete from Home Depot? Why would you have to have it shipped? Because I mentioned how expensive it is to have shipped. The thing is that you need special concrete countertop mix. So especially if I would not recommend just going down and getting regular old concrete. This concrete has a minimal aggregate so that it gets that nice smooth finish, and it's made for countertops. So that's where that shipping factor comes in, and that's where that cost comes in. So you think, oh, I'm going to save all this money by doing concrete countertops and not going the traditional route. It's really not the case. Once we factored in labor because we hired somebody to do it, and we factored in the cost of shipping and the product, and then the sealant, I could have just gotten slabs of marble. So if you're doing it because of budget, I would definitely suggest go to your local showrooms. There's probably a Bedrosians where you live. They have amazing slabs at really affordable prices, and go see what your options are within your budget, because if you're leaning towards concrete countertops because you think you're going to save money, you really probably aren't. With that said, we can talk a little bit about DIYing it. I was here and I have some videos of the guys pouring the concrete and mixing the concrete. I felt like I was part of the team even though I didn't actually do it. I was like the project manager on it. And it definitely took some trial and error. If you're going to DIY it, I definitely suggest doing a couple test slabs. So that's what we did. We did 2 test slabs to make sure that we had the consistency right, to get the mixture right when we were doing it. So if you are going to DIY the countertops, definitely do a couple test pours. So once you get those countertops in, there's no going back, and you have to pour really quickly, and then you have to get it level really quickly, and you have to work as you go, and there is no room for error. So you want to give it a couple practice tries if you've never done it before, and maybe you can reach out to a friend who's poured concrete before, because any experience is going to help you. I think one of the things that surprised me about the countertops when we poured them was that I was really expecting a really almost like a quartz white. I thought that they were going to be just this pure white, really shiny and smooth, and they're not that way at all, and I am actually really thankful they're not that way. I mean, they're just concrete. If you go outside and look at your sidewalk, imagine it sealed and white, and that's what your countertops are going to look like. So if you like that look on your countertops, then by all means go for it. But if you don't think that that's going to be what you envision for your kitchen design on your countertops, that's what it's going to look like. It's not going to look like quartz, it's not going to look like marble. It still will be beautiful, but just be realistic about what it actually is going to look like. After you get your countertops poured, sealing them is the next step, and I think that's where things can go really wrong, and that's where things went wrong for us. So we had ordered our concrete countertop mix from a specific company, and we ordered the sealant through that company too, just thinking, you know, probably best. They've probably formulated that product to work really well. And after the guys had sealed the countertops, I forget what I was saying, like washing vegetables or something, and I noticed after I had set the vegetables down on the countertop that the countertop was discoloring as if it were wet. And I thought, if the countertops are sealed, it really shouldn't be absorbing water. And so I quickly realized that the sealant didn't work at all. And so we had to strip the sealant. Luckily we could strip it with acetone. We stripped the sealant, waited for the new sealant to come in. The sealant that we ordered is called the Stone Lock. I was thinking, the Stone Lock system. And it was not cheap by any means, but I mean, I was like, I do not want these countertops to get ruined. Whatever it costs to seal them, we're going to get the best stuff. And I had done my research and read a bunch of blogs, and everybody said, like, this is the best stuff. It's supposed to be used on airplane hangars on the floors. Like, this is supposed to be really good stuff. So when the second sealant came, we studied the instructions. They were really intricate and very scientific, and we did it down to a T. We poured the second sealant, and it was immediately apparent that it was chipping and coming off in some places. For example, if you put a piece of tape down, it just rips the sealant off. And you can see, I'll zoom up over here, but the tile guys were trying to protect the countertop as they did the backsplash, so they put a piece of tape down on some butcher block paper, and when they pulled the butcher block paper off, it just completely ruined the countertop over here. Now, I like that look. I like the really rustic, industrial, lived-in kind of farmhouse look. Like, it's been here for hundreds of years. So that's the style I was going for. It really doesn't bother me that much. I just think that you should know that, because if it isn't your style, I think you would be really disappointed. It's really not the countertops that are the issue, it's the sealant. And I know I'm going to get questions like, can't you just reseal it? Yes, we could absolutely just reseal it, and we're probably going to have to, but we're going to have to tape everything off, sand the sealant down. You know how messy that's going to be, so I am not looking forward to that, and eventually we will have to do it. We may be able to find some sort of like wet sander where we can just do a wet sand so it doesn't get as dusty, but it's still going to be a giant nightmare, so I'm not looking forward to it, and I'm really kind of just holding off as long as I can. I got a text from my sister when we were in Hawaii and she was house sitting for us, and she's like, don't kill me. And I thought, what? As long as the goats are okay, what happened? And she said, I just spilled red wine on your countertop and it's completely ruined it. And it really hasn't completely ruined it, but there is a big spot where the red wine was spilled, and you know, it's just part of life. It doesn't really bug me that much, but again, it's where the sealant was cracked, red wine slipped under there, and then there's nothing you can do after that. Whereas with marble, there are ways you can lift the stain, and I know Julie will talk more about that in her video, but I think people think that concrete is so much more durable than it really is. Another thing someone told me when we were getting ready to do our countertops was, well, it's gonna crack. And I was like, no, it's not. I've done so much research. I've read so many blog posts. I know everything there is to know about concrete countertops. It's not gonna crack. Like, you're crazy. And it's cracked in places. Think about concrete. Think about your sidewalk. It's the same thing, right? So if you're not okay with little hairline cracks going different places, then again, concrete countertops are really probably not for you. Like I've said throughout this video many times, it really doesn't bug me that much, but I didn't realize that they were going to be like that, and I don't think people will really write that in the blog posts. So I just wanted to let you guys know so that when you, and if you decide to do concrete countertops, you know exactly what to expect. One thing I really didn't want when we poured the concrete was a lot of aggregate showing. I did want it to feel really smooth, and I do get comments that say, like, you can just sand it down and show the aggregate. I don't want the aggregate to show. I love that really milky, creamy finish that's on top. It's really soft and organic and really actually quite beautiful. So if and when we do have to sand this down, I'm going to try and do just the absolute minimum to keep that really nice milky finish on top. To take care of the countertops is actually really easy. I just use a regular countertop spray. I mix Castile soap with a little bit of water and just spritz it all down and wipe it off, and I found that that works really well, and it's all natural and it doesn't strip the sealer. Now that I've kind of talked a lot about the things that are not so great about concrete countertops, I do want to say there are some really good things. It has this really nice industrial look, and from a design perspective, I think that it's really beautiful. 10 or 20 years from now, we'll see. I don't know if it will feel as timeless as it does to me right now. I think that you can make it feel really timeless by mixing these really classic elements like marble, nickel, brass, adding in wood tones where you can. I think that to make it look really nice, you need to embrace the style and really use the concrete as sort of your jumping off point, so it can really serve as the inspiration for all of the other decisions that you make in the kitchen. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about white concrete countertops. If you are thinking about doing this in your home and you want to see the process and the steps, and if you're thinking about DIYing it, I do have a couple blog posts on my blog. You can just go to boxedavenue.com and in the search bar, type in countertops. You can also always go to Google and just type in Boxwood Avenue and then whatever you're trying to search for. So if you're trying to search for concrete countertops, you just type in Boxwood Avenue concrete countertops, and all of the articles that I have will come up there so that you can check that out, and I hope that you find those helpful. If you have any other videos or ideas that you're looking for help for as you're designing your home or looking to update your home, recipes too, I'd love to know in the comments below. Now I hope that you'll head on over to my friend Julie's channel, subscribe while you're there, and check out her video all about marble countertops.